Hello everyone. So in this lecture I'm going to show you how we can download and install the Metasploitable in VirtualBox. So let's get started. So first just search Metasploitable download and it will give you a lot of website, but make sure you go to this website information.rapid7.com. This is the website that we'll be using to download Metasploitable. So very simple. As you can see, Metasploitable virtual machine to test Metasploit. So as we already know what Metasploit is, you can use Metasploit under your Kali Linux, but you need to use separated tools for this. But this one is in this Metasploitable virtual machine. You don't need to do anything. It will have all of those in this Metasploitable. So first you have to complete this information to download this Metasploitable, otherwise you cannot download. So make sure just give a random first name, job title random, job level student, company random, work phone. Okay, let's give work phone a random, work mail. You should have a must, this will not work otherwise. Okay, let's just give you a demonstration why it would show. So United States, okay, let's keep to Bangladesh. This is where I'm living. So as you can see, you should have a proper or at least have a valid company email, not your personal email. So what you're gonna do is just give a simple company email like hey, like education last at the end, just give edu. Okay, as you can see, I give my university educational and a random email and it's processing. As you can see, you can just simply now press and it will download, or you can just right click in here, save link as you can see, this is the zip file and this is the Metasploitable version 2. So just download this. As you can see, it will say that it cannot download securely, but just save. As you can see, it will download. So I already downloaded this. So in here in my working directory, as you can see, this is the file Metasploitable Linux. So nearly 900 MB. So just extract it using WinZip or WinRAR, or even you can extract it using the built-in zip file is in here. As you can see, extract. So just extract this WinRAR file, and after that it will show this Metasploitable. So we're gonna use this file. This is our main file, so we're gonna use this file. So what you need to do is we need to create a new virtual machine. So how to create? So just click new, name Metasploitable, search for Linux and select Ubuntu. So this is based on Linux and this is based on version, because I am using version Windows 64. Make sure you check your Windows version. If you are using 32-bit on Windows 10 or Windows 7, make sure you select 32-bit, and if you are using 64-bit, make sure you select 64-bit, and make sure you select Linux, because this Metasploitable is based on Linux. So as you can see, this is based on Linux. So make sure you select that and select Ubuntu as 64-bit. So let's just click next, and then you will have to select your, or they will ask you to select the memory. So make sure you give it at least 2 GB RAM. so that it runs smoothly without having any error. And if you have any RAM, you can give it more than 1 GB RAM. So at least you should give it a 1 GB RAM, and the more you give, the more it will be better. So click next. So now as create, we will use so as I was saying, so just you have to create a virtual hard disk now. So just click create, then hard disk file type it should be as default VDI VirtualBox disk image. So just click next. All you have to do is just click next and everything, because the main thing is you have to set this as default as it is in here. So click next and set this as dynamically allocated. So dynamic, as you can see, the dynamically allocated hard disk file will only use spaces on your physical hard disk. So we don't want to use a fixed size, we just want to use a dynamically hard disk on your physical hard disk. So just click next, and we are gonna, so I'm gonna select my virtual machine folder. So make sure you select your own folder. So I'm just gonna select in here. So select the directory where you are gonna save this virtual machine, and give this at least 10 GB. You can give that more as you want. So just click create, and after that we have to go in our setting and we have to change some of our setting. So we don't need to change any of this, we need to change in here. You can also change and give more memory if you want, but we need to give our more CPU power. So it asks you to give more CPU power, so make sure you give more processor. So I am using 2, so make at least give it a 2 processor. So in display, make sure all set to default, and in here just click add new storage. So click hard drive, and then just press add, and go to the directory where you downloaded this Metasploitable file, and you get extracted. So this is the file, as you can see, Metasploitable. Then click in here, click choose. So all is done. You need to change, make sure you change your network, otherwise we won't be connected with your Metasploitable machine. So if you are using network, means if you are using only this computer network and you want to connect this computer, so then use network, this one. Or if you are using a Wi-Fi adapter like mine, as you can see I am using a Wi-Fi adapter, so make sure, as you can see, it automatically select the Wi-Fi adapter in your Metasploitable machine. So make sure it's better to use bridge adapter, because most of us already use Wi-Fi, so it's better, it will connect automatically and it will show no error. So you don't need to change other. So okay, invalid setting detected. Hard disk is already attached. Okay, it's showing some problem, so let's try again. Give that a 2 processor, then we're going to see use a disk file, and we're going to not disk file, we're going to so as I was saying, you need to select. So make sure you click this one, controller ID, place in here hard disk, choose the hard disk from your Metasploitable file that you downloaded. So I downloaded in here Metasploitable 2 Linux. Click here, choose press again. Let's just change our, as I was saying, make sure you, if you're using Wi-Fi, make sure you select bridge, or if you're using a wired network, then make sure you use a net network. But as I am using a Wi-Fi wireless, so I select bridged. Okay, it's done. Okay, so it's done. Let's just press start. So it will take some time. Select a virtual hard disk, a physical hard disk, and not an external. It will take some time to process and install. So let's just wait. Oh, I think maybe I select a wrong ISO file. That's why it installed a Ubuntu one. Okay, let me check, try. So let me get pause. So mistakenly I selected another ISO. So let me just start my process again. So let's just delete all of this, remove, delete all file. So let's start again. Start. Okay, now power off, tools, new, Metasploitable, choose Linux, Ubuntu 64-bit, then select next. So let's give it a 2 GB, click next, and we will use in here now. So let's check in here. So let's try add. So let's select the file that we downloaded. So last time I maybe choose a Metasploitable BMD. Why is not showing? Okay, this file got deleted, that's why. So let's extract again. So that's why I was giving a error. So let's try again. Sorry about this. This makes a video much longer. So let's wait. That's why I was searching where was this. So let's select this file now. So let's go to this folder, Metasploitable version 2. So let's select this, and now choose this, choose create. So let's change our setting as set our processor as to, we can select as much this, for this green line is your maximum range. So make sure you choose the right one. So I'm going to give it a 2 processor, not storage, audio, going to give it a bridge adapter. Okay, so let's now start our Metasploitable. I hope this will work now. Okay, this is working. As you can see, this will take some time, but it is working properly right now. As you can see, Metasploitable is now up and running. So what you need to do is you need to log in to this Metasploitable login part. So in default, your login username is msfadmin and your password is also msfadmin. By the way, as you can see, I already typed the password, but you cannot see because this is for the security purpose on Linux. You cannot see any password that you type on the screen. So I already typed the password. So if I just press enter, as you can see, I am right now as in the msfadmin. So let's just type ifconfig to check our IP address. As you can see, this is our IP address right now. So this is how to do this. This is how you download and install. So make sure you always the part. Make sure you check that your Metasploitable file is extracted. So previously this file got deleted, so that's why I cannot install this. So as you can see, it's just working perfectly right now. You can do the penetration testing on all the things in this Metasploitable machine. Hello everyone, so now that we download and install the Metasploitable, let's now configure the Metasploitable. So just press start. So as I said, you need to first configure a couple of things like your system, give that a 2 GB memory, and make sure you have at least to give that a 2 processor. And this is the important part for your network, otherwise you cannot connect this Metasploitable server to your any like Kali Linux machine or any other machine for testing purpose. So make sure if you are using on wireless network or Wi-Fi adapter like I am using, so make sure you use Breeze, otherwise you use net network. So then what is the Metasploitable login username, which is msfadmin. So press enter and the password msfadmin. So if you type password, it won't show in Linux because it's for the security purposes. So just press enter and it's on Metasploitable login. So let's see what is our IP in this Metasploitable server. I have config to check your IP. As you can see, our IP is 192.168.1.104. So we will use Kali Linux to test this Metasploitable server to check whether it's working or not. So let's open our Kali Linux machine. Metasploitable is best for penetration testing, as you all know. So we will also go to and check couple of the lab or vulnerable website if it's working or not. So let's log in our Kali Linux machine. So this is the IP address or INET address that you are seeing. This is our Metasploitable web server. So just type this web server in here in this machine that you want to pen test. So let's check this web server 192.168.1.104. As you can see, Metasploitable web server is up and running, and you can do any of these thing in here. You can check phpMyAdmin, you can do Matilde and all of those, like testing, injection, cross-site scripting, all of those in here. You can also do DVWA. So let's just try to see if you need to actually do anything. Just you need to select your network properly, otherwise it cannot connect to this web server, which is our penetration testing or vulnerable web pages for penetration testing. So make sure, as I said, so make sure you always check this one, otherwise it won't work. This is the main part. So let's user is maybe admin, password is as far as I know it is password. So let's just log in. As you can see, you can do any of this testing, brute force, execution, SQL injection, all of those in here using this Metasploitable as virtual machine. So you can do all of those things in our Kali Linux, or you can do all of those things in any Ubuntu machine, so as anything you want. So as you can see, lots of things you can do using this Metasploitable too. You need to actually, these things you can do in Kali Linux machine without this Metasploitable, but it's tough, and it's you have to do many things. You have to type more commands, you need to install couple of the tools, you need to install every tool separately in Kali Linux so that you can visit. Even though if you connect, it won't work because sometimes many errors show up, so it's better to just use a Metasploitable machine as this. So you can do many stuffs you can want in here. As you can see, you can do cross-site injection, you can do reflected, persistent, cookie injection, all of those in here using this simple Metasploitable machine. So that's how you configure using this Metasploitable. So how to turn off this? You just type power off. You need to be root. Okay, so you need to be root to be power off. So what you need to do, you need to type sudo then power off. As you can see, you will ask for password, which is msf admin, then just press enter and it's done. As you can see, it will take some time to close, but it's better if you close this way rather than using this power off button. It's better, and it will process all the things and it will stop all the services this way. And that's all about this Metasploitable virtual machine.